Welcome to the latest edition of the North versus South podcast with myself, State, and my co-host, Heath. How are you, Heath?
I'm really well, mate. I'm really well. How are you?
Grand indeed. Lovely to be recording on a lovely summer's day in May. And yeah, the birds are singing. Everything's going nicely. And FPL, well, coming to the end of another FPL season, and we've got excitement. So got lots to be happy about at the moment. So I heard you had a good weekend, Heath, a good Sunday.
I think it's probably a good time to thank some people right now. I'm going to thank Mike Matthews, Liam Spence, Lee Heffer, and Christopher Harrigan for putting on a fantastic stag-related do on Sunday. I mean, all three of them deserve my thanks, but also Chris specifically because he organised it on Sunday. I was very, very privileged to go to the Watford Leicester game, ignore the result. And we were in the VIP kind of box area. I had a lovely steak dinner beforehand, a few beers, some wine. Steak. Yeah, lovely steak.
Watford should spend more money on the players instead of giving you all fully steaks. They might have had a chance of staying up. That explains everything.
The best thing was at half time, after you've had a steak dinner before the game, you come back at half time and they've given you like a little Watford sausage roll, like a chorizo sausage roll. They don't mess around with these guys. Chorizo sausage roll, they don't mess around. You've just seen your team lose 5-1 at home. Everyone's pissed off apart from me and my mates because obviously the result's shit, but it is what it is. And there's a nice little kind of cheese board with some grapes, way of kind of getting over the result. And then just to kind of add to that, you know, without kind of going a bit too deep here, but a lifelong dream was then secured by the fact that one of the guys came up to us asking us if we wanted to go on the pitch, take a penalty. We went on the pitch, took penalties, and fortunately I scored. And yeah, I'll never forget it. And like I say, thank you to Chris for organising. Thank you for the guys for coming. And yeah, it's put me in a permanent good mood. But yeah, and then this Saturday this Saturday I've got my proper stag do, which should be incredible.
State's coming. I am so excited for it. I'm very, very excited. I mean, this is how big I'm committed to the cause. I'm at an all-day wedding on Friday, so like 2:00 onwards, I'm going to be drinking this Friday until late into the night, and then I've got a train at 5 to 7 in the morning to get, so I can get down to London for 10:00, so that I can come and destroy your sorry ass. That's what's going to happen. Okay.
So I think this is a little reveal on the podcast, right? This is an exclusive. There should be something in the mail right now. First class should be on its way to Murfield, right? Oof. Here it comes, right? I know, you guys who are listening, you can't see this. Maybe we'll post it, but hey, this is mine.
Excellent. I hope mine says FPL Northerner on it instead.
Of course, mate. And then the back.
Oh, look at that. That is fantastic.
You'll see
just to describe a little bit, guys, Heath is just modelling our T-shirt, the North versus South official merchandise T-shirt for our podcast, and it looks good, to be honest with you. And he's even got his name and number on the back of it. That night explained. Yeah, I couldn't think for whatever reason what you wanted my home address for. I could only think of bad things, to be fair, when it came to it. So you know, obviously it's not. But you've obviously matured a lot more than what I thought, to be fair, because I was expecting something strange coming through. But yeah, I look forward to receiving that, and who knows, I might have to wear it on Saturday for a little while. You know?
If it arrives, mate, in time, then it'd be pretty tempting for both of us, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
then again, I don't want to be labelled the same as the stag, you know, and that could happen if I turn up the same T-shirt. I don't need that sort of pain on me. Not this weekend,
mate. We're representing the podcast. That's what we're doing on Saturday. That's what we're doing. It's nothing about the stag do. It's all about.
I'm representing the podcast. You're representing a soon-to-be dead man. That's so yeah. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. But yeah, no, that looks great. Looking forward to receiving mine, and I'll make sure I wear it and see what the missus' reaction will be as well. She'll just be, what on earth's going on?
Well, obviously that's the exclusive. There is another exclusive coming up later on when we talk about the FPL, North versus South League and Cup. There is another exclusive coming up, so you're going to have to wait for that one.
You will. In terms of, Heath sort of giving you a little bit what we'll go through today there. Our agenda, as always, is game week review. So review of the week, which is still an ongoing game week, but we're into week 37.
It's pretty much over, isn't it, mate?
Well, yeah, I think you need something called a miracle, but miracles
really
can
do.
happen. So I'm not counting my chickens just yet. Not at this stage of the season. I'd be a lot more cockier if we had 10, 11 game weeks to go, but because we don't, it is crucial. And I think it's even more crucial for me this game week because you've got a chip in the last game week, which we'll get onto later. We're going to have our Michael Keane shit list. We've got the North versus South mini league updates, which is both league and cup. So that's to come. Then we're going to do our little feature for the day. This game week is the final game of the season predictions. So me and Heath will go through sort of European places, relegation, title. Heath's added something on called Nutmeg Champions, which he's got a story, I think, there to tell us about. And then we'll go into our game week preview as well. So, yeah, I think that pretty much covers us all for it. But, yeah, an exciting podcast ahead of us. And I'm sure we've got plenty to discuss, plenty of laughs to have as well. And if there's any further sort of comments in about Heath Stag do, don't you worry, guys. I'll be updating you on our last podcast of the season to tell you how it all went as well.
Nice.
Should we get started? Review of the week, Heath. So just for everyone who doesn't know this podcast, again, where have you been all season if you don't? But me and Heath can only pick from 10 teams each. I've got the 10 most Northern. So I've got Norwich, Wolves, Leicester, and everyone above. Heath's got from Aston Villa and everything below that. Those are the teams we can pick from. That's been like this all season. Heath, take it away. How's your game week going, pal?
Yeah, it could be better, mate. I took a -4 and I felt like I wanted to make the most of the doubles. So I brought in Ings and Anderson for Dennis and Walker-Peters from, like I say, for -4. Currently on 30 points. Martinez with 3 points with another game against Burnley at home. Kind of one of those ones where I'm kind of hoping Burnley win. But if they don't, obviously a 0-0 would be perfect just because I've got Martinez and I've got Luca Din. Luca Din got an assist, so he got 6 points. And Anderson currently on 2 points. He's got Everton away in his second game. I've also got 3 Chelsea players who've all got to play Leicester at home: Alonso, James, and Azpilicueta. And I'd be lying to you if I felt confident that all 3 will play. I feel like maybe one might get rotated, but I couldn't tell you which one because Tuchel's kept me like Klopp. And
that'd be perfect because Kulusevski's your first sub.
Yeah,
and he got 0 points because he came on for 11 minutes and got a yellow card.
Got a booked. Yeah, good man. But Saka, he got 2 points. So obviously, Arsenal had a bit of a disaster against Newcastle. Zaha was lively, but didn't do anything against Aston Villa. He got 2 points, still got the Everton game. So, although Everton are at home, I would never rule out Zaha. He's someone who can go away from home and score big, against anyone really. Son is my captain, three points from him, so 6, which was obviously not welcome from my perspective, but I can't get greedy. He's been incredible for me recently, and I'm sure he'll be brought up later on in the game week preview for game week 38.
That's the most obvious selection in the history of mankind coming up in the game week preview. I'll actually announce that one for you, Heath, if you like. That's fine.
Then I've got good old Sir Harold Kane, 7 points. He took his penalty, scored his penalty. Ultimately, looked like a penalty to me, to be fair. I think just because it was Ashley Barnes, and Ashley Barnes is a bit of a scumbag, isn't he? So it's like happy days. Just to see him kind of like wobbling around the pitch. I say wobbling. He's probably like 10 times, well, I say 100 times fitter than I am. He's probably a lot slimmer than I am. If I was in his position, I'd be wobbling a hell of a lot more, but he's a professional footballer. He shouldn't be wobbling.
Well, yeah, he definitely wobbled. I'll give him that. Yeah.
But he is the archetype kind of, scummer and, lower league player who somehow made it to the Premier League. He actually hit the post in the second half and was pretty unlucky with that chance. If they'd scored that, that would have made the relegation situation even more interesting for the weekend. But we'll come to that again. But Danny Ings, again, he's looked really lively recently. That's the reason I brought him in. He's got a second game against Burnley at home.
He should have had 3 goals in that game.
I know.
Had the chances.
Yeah, that's right.
I think lots of people, and to be fair, I was looking at it and thinking, yeah, Danny Ings would be a shoo-in goal for it. He looked dangerous in the Liverpool game as well, and a few others. He just needs to get one back in net, and he could have had 2 or 3, and it wouldn't have been a surprise. So I think the chances are there for him. He's just not getting them in the back of the net, really.
Exactly, mate. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that Burnley game. I mean, I did just say I would like a 0-0, but actually I forgot. I think I forgot that I had Danny Ings. So obviously 5-0 to Aston Villa, and Ings with 5. And Luca Din. Actually, I'd probably take Luca Din 5 goals and Danny Ings 5 assists. I'll take that, or maybe Martinez some assists. Who knows? But anyway, so Kulusevski as my first sub. He potentially could come off. Chelsea player doesn't play. 0 points. Luca Tony.
Luca Tony. What a player! He was good. He had some ability. That guy up top, good in the Italian league. Didn't quite make it anywhere else, but
Ivan Toney, just the 2 points. Game looked lively. Brentford had a fantastic game the other day. I mean, they look really, really good again, and they've probably, I hate to say it, not like I got a grudge against Brentford, but when you come up with a team and they're on par with you and they do better than you, I think you have a bit of a resentment for them. And I know that a lot of kind of neutrals have probably really enjoyed Brentford this season, but I look at them and I just think, oh God, especially their manager. The manager's one of those managers. He loves a moan, so you straight away put him off. But as they played this season, to be fair to Brentford, they have been very, very good and good fun to watch. So he got 2 points. Obviously Foster was on my bench for 0 points. What a disaster he had. And Bowen.
Here we go.
Jared Bowen. This is me on the shit list potentially. 14 points for Jared Bowen against Man City away. I honestly, this is what I said, shit list contender state. If you put me on your shit list for that, if it was anyone but Man City or Liverpool, I would.
West Ham.
Okay, but it's still playing against Man City or Liverpool. I would say home or away. I'm not going on a shit list for putting in my third sub, but he certainly he certainly won't be my third sub.
Putting him as your third sub, I think you should, because everyone knew Kulusevski was ill, not looking likely. I think with Bowen, he's always still got a chance to score. I mean, his stats don't lie this season, and and if you look at him as well, he's done well against some of the better teams as well. He got, earlier in the season, 2 assists against Liverpool. He got a goal and assist against Chelsea in one of the games. He's got regular points, So I think even against some of the decent sides. So I just think, with his current form, I mean, having him third sub was just I just didn't feel it myself. I've got Bowen in my draft team, and he's obviously come up trumps for me in that, so I'm happy.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, mate. Like I did my team before Kulusevski was announced as not playing, so he was my first sub anyway. Then someone said he wasn't going to play at all, and I thought, well, that's fine because nothing changes here. I'm happier to have Ivan Toney playing against Everton than Jared Bowen playing against Man City. But again, like you learn you make these mistakes. You learn. The fact is that Jared Bowen's had an incredible season, and if he didn't get injured at that period and his form slowed down a bit, I wouldn't even thought about it. It's a bit like Saka. I mean, Saka's form's been incredible, but he's just had a couple of games now, or maybe a few games where his form's just dropped off a little bit, and now he's no longer kind of like a definite starter for me personally. So I think Bowen will go in the last game. Again, we'll get to that later on, but I think that it's weird. The goals were weird as well. Both of them were virtually the same. High line by Man City, him beating the offside trap. I mean, I know Man City have got a weaker back four than normal, but Pep instills his discipline into his back five that it's very rare they concede more than one goal. And if they do, it's normally against the better teams. But that was a very, very odd situation to be in against West Ham. And fair play, they came back and showed a lot of character to to fight back
Yeah.
and get the point. Probably
Won.
Mare scored the penalty, would have got the free. But yeah, end of the day, it just makes the game week 38, or it makes last game of the season a lot more interesting with them dropping points against West Ham. So yeah, that was my team, and like I say, I'm on 30 points at the moment. It's going to be a big ask to catch State, if I'm being honest, but we'll find out about his team in a second. But at the same time, you know, a few weeks ago, I was kind of always in second place, always looking to try and get in there. And I think I had it in my mind that last week I was going to lose the week, which I did. This week I was hoping I would win the week, but De Bruyne's form and people like that, you just always think, what chance have I got? Now I'm looking, well, if I don't win this week, hopefully my triple captain, Spurs at home to Norwich, they've got to win and they've got to be comprehensive. They can't allow, they've got nothing to play for after. If Son or Kane...
You need them to win, not they've got to win. Yeah.
No, they can actually draw, can't they? Goal difference wise, I think they've got better goal difference than Arsenal, so a draw is probably fine, but they can't afford to lose, and don't think the fans would be happy if they settled for a draw. So I would expect them to go at Norwich hard and get a few goals, I hope. Because but Norwich again, they showed a bit of fight against Wolves. First bit of fight I've seen in them for a few weeks. So we'll see, mate. But what about your team? How did it look for you?
Yeah, it's going well at the moment. To be fair, team's doing good. I'm on 67 points at the moment, but I've got 7 points to come in. So I'll be up to 70. Officially, I'm up to 74, and still with some people left to play a second game. So I just made the one game week transfer. I brought Mane in for Salah, which I thought Mane might still play, but obviously it didn't happen. I knew Salah wasn't going to play after the cup final and him hobbling off, so that didn't quite pay off. Then again, I'm fancying Mane still in the final game, and I don't think Salah will play necessarily in the final game. To be honest with you, I think they'll rest him because I still think they'll have enough without him to beat Wolves. But yeah, Edison just got me the 1 point. Obviously, Man City conceded a couple of goals. He didn't have any sort of saves to add any points on. Cancelo just the 1 point. Van Dijk, he's got 0 points. He hasn't played, so he's going to be coming out for Nathan Collins, who's got 2 points so far for Burnley, and they've got another game to play. Burnley could sneak a clean sheet against Villa or lose and he gets a goal. That'd be nice. Big man last night, Joel Matip, coming up trumps again. 2 goals in his last 2 games, 3 bonus points yet again. The guy's on form, and
5 million as well, mate. Unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. So I've had him for the last like 3 or 4 weeks now, and it's been a good bit of business from me, and he got me 11 points there. So that's big scoring from him, which is good. Damari Gray just got the 1 point against Palace. He only played 18 minutes against Brentford. Sorry, he only played 18 minutes, but they've got Palace to play. Mane didn't get any points, so he's going to be coming out. And this is a little bit lucky, but Gelhardt from Leeds, he got the assist at the end, and that's 5 points coming on for Mane. So that's a nice bonus that I wasn't expecting, to be fair. So that's gone well. De Bruyne only got the 2 points for City. Obviously had a quieter game compared to the previous week, obviously, which to be fair, I think most of it was always going to be quieter than scoring 4 goals the previous game week. Anthony Gordon, 2 points for Everton against Brentford. He played 71 minutes. They've got Palace again, so hopefully might get some points there. James Maddison, great game week from him. But, bit of form coming into the end of the season. 15 points, a goal and 2 assists and 2 bonus points from him. I think he probably deserved the 3 bonus points, probably, but never mind. Then to my strikers, Timo Pukki, 8 points. He got a goal and 2 bonus points for Norwich in their draw, which was great. And then I captained Jamie Vardy. He got 2 goals and 3 bonus points, so he got 13 points. He's up to 26. Vardy and Maddison both still got a game left to play against Chelsea. Will he both play again? Because he has been rotating, but I think I reckon they will play again. They haven't got a European final to worry about. I don't know if he'll play Vardy. I think Maddison will play it, but I'd really hope for him to just play them both, to be fair, and sort of try and keep finishing the season strong. The other good thing about it is, this game could definitely come to overall points. So I could really do with all my players who are doubling up in the next day or so. doubling up and scoring some good points to give me a good cushion going into that last game week with you having your triple captain. So on the bench, McGovern didn't play. He's not played a single minute all season. 0 points from him. Brandon Williams didn't actually play for Norwich either, so 0 points from him. But yeah, so I'm going to be up on 74 with some players to play. So hopefully we can see that. You know, if Bardi can play and get a goal or two again, you know, we might get even close to another ton week. Just anything additional will be handy to have to give me the game week win, which hopefully will happen. But like I said, I'm not quite counting my chickens yet. I think it's it only takes, you know, all 3 of Chelsea players to play, keep clean sheets, and Ings to score, you know, goals. So I suppose the good thing that I've got is that you haven't got a captain, so they will have to do more than just get clean sheets. Your Chelsea lads, I'd expect, to be fair, for that to happen. So yeah, we'll see.
I would need like Reece James and Alonso to kind of get forward a bit, get a goal, an assist or something. Yeah, bonus points, that kind of stuff. Really, it's a really long, and I think just because of the gap between both our teams this week in the sense of points, I think I've got a hell of a lot to make up to have any chance of winning. I mean, we're gonna if I win, obviously I'm gonna draw overall, but you know, to get more points will be miraculous comeback in that last game week. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not confident, but at the same time, you know, stranger things have happened. I think last couple of weeks before, it seemed like I was odds on to win, but a Kevin De Bruyne masterclass last week was not on my agenda, and obviously that's kind of what swayed this really. So I mean, I'm not just saying him, but I'm saying you've made some really good decisions in the back end of the season.
Yeah, he got me 60 points out of my 130 plus. So you know, it was a big move, and that's what you got. I mean, I know others contributed that game week, but yeah, I made the right captain choice. And when he pulls in, you know, that sort of performance, and you know, gets you 60 points in a game week from one player alone, you know you're going to probably have a decent game week at the end of the day, to be fair.
No, exactly.
So it's good, but yeah, no, we've got to. It's all a play for, that's for sure. I mean, yeah, hopefully I should get this game, which will put me 3 points clear and also increase my overall points tally difference. I'm hoping I can get a sort of good. If I can get a 40, 50 point lead, it'd be great. I don't know if I'll be able to get that, but yeah, it's going to all come down to that last game week still, which is what we all wanted. I think
100%, mate. And like I say, beginning of the season, if you'd have said to me, you know, 1 game week to go and it's all to play for, I would have literally ripped your hand off and taken it, because this season it's been such a funny season in the sense of FPL and individuals playing the way that they're playing. But the fact that we've somehow been able to have game weeks where you've smashed me, I've smashed you through Salah and Liverpool and Man City, and for me, Tottenham and Arsenal and Son and Kane. It's just been unbelievable how it's worked out. It's almost like the footballing gods are looking down at us and saying, we need to make this podcast even more interesting than it already is. Definitely. Which is hard to imagine. I don't know how they've done it, but it somehow has made it more interesting. But yeah,
worked the wonders.
Yeah. It's good, and this season will go down in history, because if we, you know, continue doing this, I don't think you can ever have something like this again where it's this close. Last season, obviously, I think that it was pretty much done and dusted going into last game, I think, but I could be wrong. Yeah, you tell me. But
it was.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, anyway, we I suppose, although I'm in a good mood still, I think we should probably move on to the negative part of our podcast, which is our Michael Keane named shit list. We have to name 5 players or 5 things or something that's basically irritated us throughout the game week, and they deserve to basically be put on this list of ours. So I guess we'll have to go with probably the happier of the two of us right now in the sense of FPL, and that's State.
First person on the shit list is Riyad Mahrez. You know, really, you should be just finishing the penalty. There's no excuse for missing a penalty, and you know, your teams then only need to draw in the last game of the season to win the league. Instead, you know, you give yourself a little bit more of a risk by needing to make sure you get the win. So Riyad Mahrez, I think, will be on a lot of sick shit lists. He'll be on a lot of if we were doing a hit list this week, Liverpool fans would be, you know, sending him to the gods and saying, yes, you come along, son. But again, I've got it's been the last 3 weeks, been a theme. Leeds have been doing it, but red cards happening at the moment, and teams just making these mistakes and costing themselves. Everton were the culprits this week at home against Brentford. They're 1-0 up. I think, they were personally, in charge. I know they went 2-1 up as well, but, Branthwaite, he's got the wrong side. It's a big mistake, and then he's pulled him down. Red card. I don't think he can really argue about that. Then, obviously, Rondon. What's Rondon doing? It's a typical striker's tackle, that is, to be fair.
It was actually pathetic how he did it.
Yeah, and he knew it was stupid as soon as he did it, but he didn't. I know that he didn't have intent to go and hurt someone. It was just a really bad, stupid striker's tackle. Like, you sort of look at footballs and you think, but I always think to myself though, every footballer should be able to tackle at professional level. They shouldn't be that stupid. But he seriously looked like he'd been someone who'd ignored any lessons on defending through his entire life and tackling, and then just jumped in like, I'd expect my 3-year-old to tackle better than that, to be fair. And he has no idea really. So it was just so stupid. So I think Rondon's definitely on there for a stupid red card. That's for sure. Absolutely ridiculous moment, to be honest with you. Brighton are on my shit list. Reason Brighton are on my shit list is, well, we learned to finish teams off. You've had chances. You should have scored some goals. You should have had more than one. You should have been out of sight by the time Leeds get an equaliser right at the death. And also learn to shut up shop properly. What are you doing? You have disappointed the entire world in football by giving them boys a chance of staying up there. You beat them, and guess what? Burnley are above them. On goal difference, then all Burnley need to do is get the same result as Leeds in the last game, and Leeds are down on goal difference at a bare minimum. But no, you've given them a chance. You've caused Burnley a lot of problems, and Burnley have got a game in hand still. But really, Brighton, you could have done the world a favour and relegated those buggers. I'm not just saying that because I dislike Leeds. I'm saying it as well because I do kind of want a bit more of a Yorkshire League next season in the Championship with my boys coming up. I know it's probably 6 points in Leeds' pockets. They'll be happy about that, but still to just sort of say when Leeds fans are being dickheads, I'm like, you're still in the same division as Rotherham United, you tossers. So you're not that shuts them up a little bit, doesn't it? So yeah, Brighton were on there. The only other sort of, Heath, I won't put you on from Jared Bowen because you should just put yourself on, be a man about it. You shouldn't need me to do it for you. And then I would only other sort of thing I'd probably say as well. Maybe Watford. You should be on my shit list. Why didn't you let Vardy get 3 or 4 goals? You could have easily done that, giving him a bit more chance. You were gifting him anyway. So what's the difference in giving him 2? You may as well give him 4 or 5. That'd be, So there you go. But I think it's difficult on the shit list this week. Arsenal sort of had a poor performance. I'm a bit peed off with all people slating Arsenal about it because they've had a bad game then, and obviously Spurs game didn't go well. But look where they've come this season to where they were last season. They were 8th last year. This year they're going to end up 5th probably in the league. They could still end up 4th. It's an improvement for them. They've got a very young side, very young squad. Probably I think it's the youngest squad in the Premier League. They're still learning, growing, they're developing. The thing you should be slating Arsenal for is the January sort of transfer window where they let go of a shitload of players on loan or sold them or let them go on a free and didn't replace them. So they made the squad thin. That's where they have fucked up recently, Arsenal, is that not really necessarily about where they're coming in the league. They're having a good season and in terms of improving. If you want to slag a club off that have done bad from last season to this season, it's not Arsenal. Arsenal have improved. Man United are the ones who've done shit. They've gone from 2nd in the league to 8th. So, or 6th or 7th, whichever they end up finishing. So I think some pundits and fans probably would be on my shit list for slagging off Arsenal too much. And that finishes me off of the shit list.
Right, it's a shame that you didn't finish off on Watford because I could have gone nicely into my shit list. My shit list comprises of 5 Watford players. So it's basically...
Only 5?
Yeah, 5. So Ben Foster, stinker for the second goal, gave Vardy a goal. I mean, realistically, you don't come off your line, don't go to punch it. Basically, he's got to get it under control. He's got a defender next to him. He doesn't get as an easy chance. He probably still has a good chance to have a shot on goal. But doesn't mean he gets as easy a chance as you've given him. So that was a stinker for that goal. Then we go to Jeremy Ngakia, who actually had quite a decent game. Apart from Harvey Barnes' goal, I mean, where were you, mate? You know, it's second half. You're completely out of position after the centre circle kick. I mean, where have you gone, mate? It's just simple stuff, really. Obviously, as I said earlier, my bad mood at Watford was taken over by the good mood, considering how well the day went for me personally. But the team in general, I know we're playing a second/third 11, but you know, these guys are probably going to be playing next season. Some of these guys will be expecting to be in the Premier League. They'll expect to get a move back into the Premier League or be playing every week in the Championship. And they've just showed absolutely no quality whatsoever. So Ben Foster for the Vardy goal, Ngakia for the Harvey Barnes, the third goal. Then we move on, Adam Messina, who again was covering a lot on the centre backs, but at the same time, he made a dreadful mistake for the first goal. He collided with Craig Cathcart and just made an absolute clanger of one. I mean, we could have been 2-0 up, could have even been 3-0. It was just, we were playing fine. Leicester were the better team. We were playing fine. The fact is that these defensive mistakes just compound what has been an awful season for us, really. Then Ada Kayembe, our holding midfielder, gave the ball away, for the second goal as well. Basically, it's just an easy 5-10 yard pass. State and I can do that on dodgy pitches on a Saturday or a Sunday, no problem.
Definitely.
This guy, I don't even know much about him. I've never heard of him before he joined Watford. I've got to be honest with you, he's been here for a season or half a season. I don't even know if he joined at the beginning of the season or half a season, because I couldn't care less about this guy because he's made no impact whatsoever. And I see him live in person. He's okay. He's a holding midfielder. He looks scared of the ball. The ball comes to him. He gets rid of it as quickly as possible. He then gets casual, makes mistakes, costs us goals, and you're going, okay, well, apparently he's going to be around next season, which is worrying. then last but not least, and I do feel sorry for him because he wasn't meant to start the game, but Craig Cathcart, I mean, this guy,
Craig.
I think he's always been a Championship / Premier League defender, low Premier League, high Championship, and he's got a lot of quality. He's very, very good professional. I really like him as a person. He's done a lot for Watford, just like Ben Foster, to be fair. So I'm not going to, I don't hold grudges against him or anything like that. But Craig Cathcart's probably got to put his hands up and say, I've had a bit of a mare this season, which is fair enough. Maybe it's one season too many for him. But this game against Leicester, he's sitting well and truly top of the shit list, because first goal is only his indecision that's led to Messina coming round to collide heads, and basically both go up for the header. Cathcart wins the header. Now, even if Messina's not there and Cathcart wins that header's going backwards towards on-running Yuri Tielemans. It's ridiculous. It's poor. It's just, it's completely, and he's meant to be a professional of many years. He shouldn't be making those types of mistakes. And then there's basically, I think it was the fourth goal. I mean, Jamie Vardy again, gifted goals. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, without Watford's defence and holding midfielder, I would have a chance this week. But they've gifted goals to both Vardy and Maddison, which has led to State being in a situation where he's most likely going to have to win the league from here. If he doesn't, I mean, it'd be a real disaster, and State would have to put himself on his own shit list if he doesn't win.
Whoa. Don't be saying stuff like that when you've got a cheeky little number called a triple captain card under your sleeve. Don't you start being, look at you, playing mind games.
Mind games, mate.
Have you turned into Nathan Jones overnight or something? Is that what you're telling me? Because that's what it sounds like a little bit to me. You try to be Nathan Jones and sort of say, the pressure's all on everyone, on them, and all that stuff. Don't be giving me that bullshit, boy. I tell you, I'll have you. I do actually. I'm glad you brought Nathan Jones up, actually.
This season, and previous season when we got relegated, the Luton Town fans have enjoyed it. So I'm going to have to say it. I'm sorry to Luton Town fans out there, but I'm going to have to say it. That was absolutely brilliant. And to Huddersfield Town fans and Huddersfield Town, thank you very much. You've made football just complete for another season. The idea of that shithole being in the Premier League would be a disaster. I mean, the fact is you're going to go into like some residential house to get into that ground, which is just, it's just an awful place.
I didn't want to be picking him either. I didn't want to be picking players from Luton because they would have come to me if they'd have come up.
Yeah, exactly. And the idea that, I don't know if anyone's seen it, but Nathan Jones had a little bit of a cry that he didn't get to the Premier League. Didn't even get to Wembley. It's not like he didn't get to the Premier League. Didn't even get to Wembley. Missed out, in the semi-final. I mean, no one remembers a semi-finalist, right? But I was very happy about that. And that's where the North-South divide come together and we all go for the Northern team there.
Yeah, definitely.
Nothing to do with my shit list, but just thought I'd put that out there.
No, I agree. I agree with you. Good to know. And I work with 3 Huddersfield Town season ticket holders. They're happy people at the moment. One of them's not as happy because he's on holiday for the final. Bad planning, but never mind. He'll get over that. But yeah, it was funny to just see how bitter he was. It was quite bitter after the first leg, saying, "Oh, we should have had a penalty." Yeah, Huddersfield Town should have had 2 penalties. Huddersfield Town should have had a penalty, but Luton did have the chances in that second leg. First half of that second leg, they were all over Huddersfield, and they didn't take the chances, and they got punished for it at the end. And that's how it goes. To be fair, so you just got to hold your hands up, say, right, other team have put the ball back in net more than us. That's all it takes.
It's one of those ones where it's like, because they're our rivals, I've always thought the people dislike them as much as we do, and they don't. There were some people this season saying, I hope Luton come up because, it'd be great to see a small club in the Premier League. I was thinking, that's not what you say about us and Fulham and Norwich. You're always slagging us off going, I hope they go out going down to the Championship because we need some bigger clubs. Come on, make up your minds.
What? Has the Premier League never seen small clubs before? Burnley weren't exactly a big club when they came up. Lots of clubs, been small. Stoke weren't massive anymore. Bolton, these clubs. You still got a chance like someone like Huddersfield are going to come up. And, Huddersfield are not a big club at the end of the day. They were okay, but they're not regarded as a big club at all. They've been, this season they've been absolutely ridiculed. Everyone's written them off all year. So I think, it was good to see. And it was also good to see Sheffield United get beaten as well because I don't dislike Sheffield United, but again, that's that Yorkshire League. That's what.
There you go.
Next. So it's good. It's good for us. So yeah. So now good shit list, Steve. Liking your massive chain of Watford players on there. You probably could have had more on if we'd have let you have more than 5. I bet, but we can't just do that. Rules are rules. So yeah, we don't want to be a stickler, but we've got to do that. I'm afraid. So yeah. But now, good shit list. We've still got one more shit list to come at the end of the season, obviously. So we'll look forward to seeing the Michael Keane shit list feature one last time. So yeah, we'll have to look for a new sponsor for next season, probably, won't we?
We will do, mate.
Yeah, we can decide that at the end of season awards. So yeah. So next, the North versus South mini league and cup updates. So obviously, this is the people who joined our podcast league. Heath, I believe you're going to give us the lowdown on how the league's going, and then I'll be doing the cup. So what's happened in the league so far this game week? I believe there's a really good man who's leading the game week at the moment, the top bloke.
Yeah, there's not too much to really go to get too crazy about. I mean, the only thing is the potential of what could happen rather than what has actually happened. So, I'm not going to go into too much detail down the bottom. There's not much. The only thing I would say is Joe Hadley on
That'll be a record week score, even for a shit team. That.
Yeah, his team is made up of Luke Shaw, Twanzebe, Jadon Sancho, who all didn't play this week. Oh, and Fernandez. He somehow got 4 Man United players in there. I guess Twanzebe came back from his loan or something. I'm not too sure how he's done that.
Yeah, that's the league. The game's got to look into that. We've got a crisis.
I don't know why it didn't even kind of hit me until. I think this guy must have something about ex-Man United players because he's got Lukaku, he's got Williams, he's got Keane, he's got Ben Foster. So he must just like Man United a lot. Yeah, because he's a Man United fan. There you go. So anyway, Fernandez didn't play. Mount is his backup vice captain. Tony got him 2 points. Luca Dean and Ward Prowse are going to come on with 8 points. So his 3 points is really 11 points. But so well played, sir. El Badger Poopers, 8 points, rubbish. Then let's work our way up the league. So you better check yourself with 46 so far. He's having a good week. I think he had Jared Bowen, Harry Kane as captain, Cucurella with 4 points. So he's had a good week. Considering on the southern section, then we say Edison Volleys, Sean Boyle, 51 points. He's got triple captain on Richarlison, 36 points. Good shout. Watkins, 8 points. So he's it's really just one player, but to be fair, he's still made the right decision there. Brad Utteridge, 4 hours of time now. Bench boost been played with Richarlison captain, Watkins as well. James Maddison with those lucky 15 points that Watford gifted them. He has got he had Dubravka on the bench, which is a bit of a shame, but I know he's plays bench boost, so there you go. Dubravka did get him to 7 points, so happy days. Although again, I don't like the fact he's plays bench boost and he's got Kilman who's not playing and Duffy's not playing. What's the point, mate? You might as well have brought them in, made more transfers and given yourself more to look forward to. So that's a bit of a stinker. Then let's move up. Ashton Horner, 46 points. Nori and Matip, two players who got 11 points each. Kane as captain, so he's done well there. So obviously all these teams pretty much got players to play. Paul Pond, Dirty Sancho, 46 points. Vardy captain, gifted goals, obviously. Kane, 7 points. So, and then we go higher in the league. And as you said it, State, Northern Super Kings, 67 points. We've told you about his team, obviously gifted those Madison and Vardy goals and points, and Matip and Pookie, to be fair. Pookie's been a good shout for you, hasn't he?
Yeah, Pookie's been a right shout. Cheap. He plays every game week. I think he's missed one game, not started one game all season as Pookie. So he's got 11 goals this season. So I think it's Norwich going down. Surely someone's gonna come in for him. Because he got 11 goals in his last season in the Premier League as well. I know he started better, whereas this season I think he's spread him a little bit more. But I think 11 gols for a struggling team like Norwich, who have struggled all season, I don't think that's a bad going. And I think he's shown plenty enough for the team who stay up to be looking at. Brighton needs someone who can put the ball in the back of the net. Why don't you look at Pookie?
Good shout, mate.
Anyone who stays up, who needs another striker, look at Pookie. He's got to be someone that teams have got to be looking at. West Ham need another striker to go with Antonio or play alongside him, or be someone who they can split the time with if they get Europe again. What about Pookie?
I'm calling it Emmanuel Dennis. There you go. That's who West Ham are going to sign in the summer. Calling it here first. Yeah.
Good shout. Yeah.
But no, you're right. Teemu Pukki is if you give him a better team, he's shown signs of being a finisher. He might have a better chance. It's probably time for him to move on.
He's worked hard as well this season a lot more. I think I probably didn't think he did as well the previous season he was in Premier League, but I think this season when I've seen the Norwich games, I think he's always looked dangerous and threatening. He's running channels. I think he's probably definitely got to be angling for a move back into the Premier League this season or something. So yeah,
agreed, mate. Agreed. Well, top three, obviously, as we said, the top three: Kevin Bernard, Crucible FC, FPL Lion, Connor Tobin, and Mike Matthews. It's really kind of all three of them have got 40 odd points. But the one thing is, unfortunately for Mike Matthews, is that it looks like Connor Tobin and Kevin Barnard have left the free hit, as in this is for Connor. He's got his free hit being played, and he's still got a few players to play, obviously. And then you've got Kevin Bernard, who's held back on his bench boost. I mean, it has he's done okay off of it. Really, could have been better.
Connor could catch him if Things has a good one, couldn't he? Though I think Connor,
and it looks like Kevin's, to a certain extent, without realising it, wastes his bench boost because of the Liverpool players not playing, and Laporte and Shah only getting 1 point each, Foster not getting it, basically getting 0 points. So it's not worked out for his bench boost, but he's still got quite a few players to play. Connor, like you say, if Ings goes crazy, which we're keeping our fingers crossed he does, then he's got a chance. He has got a chance. And I think for Mike Matthews, he's gone with a bit of a left field choice with Wilfried Zaha as captain. Harvey Barnes got him 16 points, which is a really good shout, obviously. And so, to be honest, it could go either way. But right now, I'm kind of looking at Kevin and Connor, really, unfortunately.
Yeah. You're still at the moment rather be Kevin than Connor though at the moment. But then again, the Thursday games could just change that all of a sudden.
That's right. And so just to kind of like, obviously, as it's a podcast, you haven't got a video to see. So Kevin Bernard is on 2,412 points. Connor Tobin's on 2,387 points. And Mike Matthews is on 2,380 points. It's very, very close to the top. And it's definitely going into the last game week of the season. So it's really, really exciting. The bottom of the league is not so exciting because they're basically all pretty much given up. So, yeah, so we move on to the Cup, though.
Well, our semi-final pitted 4 teams at different places in the league as well, to be fair. We've got someone near the top, someone near the bottom, and then 2 little mid-table stragglers, basically. So that's how it's worked out. So bit of a nice draw for Mike Matthews in the Cup, to be honest with you. He's playing against Eddie Moran. So Eddie at the moment on 22 points. He's got some people to play still. He's got 3 Chelsea players, Azpilicueta, Rudiger and Lukaku. He's got his captain, Conor Gallagher, to still play another game. The only bad thing that's going to really happen is he's got Bowen as first sub on 14 points. Now, Bowen's not going to come on for him unless Lukaku doesn't play, because Reguilon didn't play and he played a back 3. He's got a red. So he's got a -2 coming in with Ben White as well, which is just not what you need in a semi-final. So unless Lukaku hauls, he needs Lukaku to get the fuck off the pitch and not bother turning up at the ground today so he can get 14 points there. And then he needs Rudiger and Azpilicueta to get clean sheets, and he needs Connor to do some business for him, because he's on 22, but Mike Matthews is on 39 at the moment. He took a 4-point hit by making 2 transfers. He's still got Zaha to play. He's got Kasper Schmeichel. He didn't play that first game, Kasper Schmeichel, so he might be hoping he might do something. He's got Holgate, Digne, Anderson, Taylor all to play again. Van Dijk, Harvey Barnes as well. Van Dijk will come out for Weghorst, who's got 1 point and another game to play. So, I think it's looking like Mike's got this under control, unless Eddie can hope that Lukaku don't play, or unless he hauls and Conor Gallagher needs to really haul for him as well. So I think all's looking good for the favourite there in that one. But we're all rooting for you, Eddie. We're all rooting, son. Come on, lad. Yeah. And I'll tell you why he's especially rooting for him, because he's in the other semi-final. And there is nothing he would like more than to win whatever the reveal's going to be, because that's the only reason he's brought a reveal in for the Cup thing, because he's got a chance of winning it, I think. So, and he's laughing because it's true. He's not laughing because I'm telling false things. He's laughing because it is very true. Heath is actually, so he's playing. His Southern All-Stars are playing against Ben Marion's Mazda's King Gary 11. I won't call you your nickname Big Ben, because I've been told that he'll get edited out, so we won't do that this week. But the score's been so far. So Heath's on 26 points. He's on 30, but he took a 4-point hit, so he's on 26 in the head-to-head. He's got people to play though. He's got plenty of people playing again. He's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players to play again. So there's a really good chance that he's going to increase that point scoring, to be honest with you. So that's what Heath's going to be on. Ben, he's on 30 points. He's on 34, but again, he made 2 transfers for this game week. He's done well. He's got Keane as captain 14. He's still got Ollie Watkins to play. He's got our man, Josh Brownhill playing. Go on, son. Go on, Josh. He's got Zaha. He's got Alonso, Justin, Mikolenko still to play. Coming off his bench, he's got 3 points coming off his bench. He's got Nketiah and Xhaka are going to come on for Diaz and Robertson, because they didn't play at all. So he has got 3 points, which will put him up to 33 for the time being. But it's still all to play for in this game. I'd probably put you down a slight favourite, Heath, because I think you've got more players still to play. It could be a close one in that one. So yeah, I think we'll see what happens. I mean, come on, guys, we can't. I mean, as much as I'd like to see Heath get to the final, I I don't want to run the risk of him winning the final, okay? Because he's got a triple captain in that final. Nothing would give me greater pleasure than Heath making the final and losing by a devastating 1 point. That'd be the best outcome possible. But there's too much risk in that outcome with him having a triple captain. So, come on, Big Ben. You take this to the hole, boy. Take it to the hole.
For the people who are curious and have kind of held on all this time in the podcast to kind of work out what this exclusive is, here we go. The box is being opened. This is what the winner is going to receive. It's a cup. Or a mug.
North versus South podcast cup, guys. It is a fantastic cup. It's got the logo on it. It's, to be fair, people treasure this cup. It is actually a cup. So there you go.
It's a cup.
Some people call it a mug.
Yeah, I think what's probably a good idea is for us to order a second one for the league winner. So whoever wins the league will receive this as well. And what I'll do is I'll get that sent straight to their address rather than sent to mine. So the cup winner, the league winner will both win a North versus South FPL podcast mug. And they can enjoy themselves. They can have a nice cup of tea while they look back at the memories of them being successful in life for that period of time. So there you go, guys. There it is, the carrot on the end of the stick. If you thought for a second that we were going to allow you to go away empty-handed after you've won our league or our cup, you were sorely mistaken. Oh, it's all very exciting for the game week 38, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And we'll look forward to seeing who gets into the final of that. And yeah, it's all going well, really, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it's now a good time to move on to the final game of the season, our predictions, what we believe will happen. It's probably a good time now for us to kind of put our money where our mouth is and actually let's get our predictions out there. So we'll start off with the European places because let's be honest, no one really gives a shit, do they? I mean, it's always the same teams and they always go out early. I guess that the first one is the Europa League. Again, no one cares about the Jaffa Cake League, whether it is. So the Conference League. So you've got, it looks like it's going to be West Ham, Manchester United. So what we thinking, mate?
I think Man United are going to have the Conference League spot in 7th place. I feel West Ham are going to get a win this game week, and I feel United will
Brighton away, mate.
Yeah, I fancy West Ham. I think against, I know Brighton have hit a bit of form, but I think West Ham will, they looked, against Man City, they'll take confidence from that. I think they'll want to still, get a result. And if West Ham win, United, I think, will draw at Palace, and West Ham have the better goal difference. So I'm going with West Ham to finish in 6th place and Man United to finish in 7th place.
Bold, but unfortunately, mate, I'm going to disagree. I think United will do enough at Crystal Palace, and I think that they will hold on to 6th place. I'm sure that they'll be extremely happy with that after a disaster of a season. So, so you're going for West Ham to finish 6th. I'm going to go for Manchester United. The next one we have is the Arsenal versus Spurs Champions League race. And obviously 2 points in it. Spurs have got a better goal difference, considerably better goal difference. So what we thinking, mate?
Yeah, I just can't see Spurs losing at Norwich. To be fair,
they're away at Norwich. They're not even at home.
Yeah. Okay. No, Spurs away at Norwich, and Spurs are good away from home. Their counter-attacking style, and I'm sorry, Norwich. I know you got a good point against Wolves and you might want to send your fans off home happy. The way you can send your fans off home happy is by not getting too badly battered. And the other way you could send this particular football fan, aka me, happy is by not letting Humbling Song go crazy on you, because Heath will be playing him as his triple captain. I'll put money on that. And if he doesn't put him on, it'll be Harry Kane. So just stop them two. Just injure them slightly, not too much, because we need Harry Kane for the World Cup next season. So if you want to just give him a little brush off, then that's fine.
So you're going to go with Tottenham to win, right?
Yes. Yeah, Spurs will get the win. I think Arsenal will probably beat Everton as well, which I think they can't finish lower than 5th anyway. So I think Arsenal will get the 5th spot. Spurs will finish 4th.
I agree, mate. I think, before this last game week, I thought that Arsenal were guaranteed to get it. But I think what's going to happen is it will be that Spurs will win against Norwich fairly comfortably, and Arsenal will basically run right against Everton. But yeah, I think they'll both win their games, and I think Spurs will get into fourth place, which realistically is probably would have been more interesting if Arsenal got something against Newcastle for that last game, because Norwich obviously because Spurs obviously had the easier game. So okay, so then we move on to the relegation. So what we're thinking, so we've got Everton on 36, Leeds on 35, and Burnley on 34. Honestly, it's brilliant, isn't it, how close it is between the three of them?
Yeah, I mean, I think relegation.
Burnley, and sorry, just before we go into this, Burnley and Everton have still got to play one more game. So it could be very different. Leeds could be in the relegation zone come, game week 38 on Sunday. So we never know.
I think Burnley are going to go down. I think Burnley will get a point in one of their two next games. I don't know if it'll be against Villa. I think Villa will probably beat them. And then their last game of the season, Burnley, is at home to Newcastle. I think they'll get a point out of that game, which will move them up to 35, which will put them above Leeds. But I think Leeds will get something at Brentford. I don't think they might not win it, but I think they'll get something at Brentford, to be fair. I don't know what it is that just makes me think that. I hope they don't. I'd love to see them go down personally, but I fancy Leeds to get a point. And if they get a point, Burnley would need to get a win to go above. I just don't see Burnley winning any of their last two games. I think they'll lose one and draw one. Everton, I think they'll get at least a point against Palace, which will, I think will be enough for them. And they might even get a win against Palace if they keep 11 men on the pitch. Who knows? But I think Everton will survive, and I think Burnley will be going down. I hope I'm wrong, but that's how I see things.
Yeah, I'm going to agree, mate. A couple of weeks ago, I did shout out. I did think Burnley was. I thought Leeds would get something out of someone, and they did in the end get something out of Brighton. Last minute goal. I mean, that to be fair, you've got to love football when that happens. Last minute header. Was it over the line? Drama. Referee gives it. The fans go crazy. You got to love that. But it's a shame it happened for Leeds. But basically, what I'm thinking is I reckon that Burnley won't get anything in the next two games. I think Leeds and Everton will both get stuffed in the last game of the season, and it will be depressing to think of how poor they've both been, but they've both stayed up. You look at their goal difference, it's just Leeds have conceded 78 goals. Only Norwich have conceded more. That's shocking, really, isn't it? But they'll stay up, unfortunately.
Yeah. Only conceded one less than Norwich conceded.
Exactly. And then finally, the well, actually, no, not finally. Sorry, no, I'm not going to undersell the nutmeg situation. So they got the title chasing. So what do you think for the title?
City. They're not gonna mess this up at home to Villa. Not a chance. I mean, just can't see it happening. I think they'll win 2-3-0, probably. Get it over the line. Thing what we see, they've since getting knocked out of the Champions League, obviously everyone were there sort of thinking, they're going to unravel now. Well, they haven't unraveled. They've gone and spanked a few teams, and then they've come back from 2-0 down against West Ham, and let's be honest, West Ham at home against the big sides this season have done well. They beat Liverpool earlier in the season. They've really sort of caused problems, and City just showed that mentality by coming back and doing it. I just don't see them slipping, and they'll get the title. Liverpool, they'll give Wolves a pumping, I'm sure, as well. To finish their Premier League season off. I think they'll win comfortably, but they'll end up a point shy.
Mate, I'm going to call this right. I'm going to say that Man City Villa. I think Villa will go 1-0 up, and I think Danny Ings or Coutinho will score it. There'll be the whole Liverpool rhetoric of how they're going to basically help Liverpool to win the title. Liverpool will go 1-0 up against Wolves and be comfortable 2-0, 3-0 winners against Wolves or something like that. And then Man City will come back. They'll win 2-3, 4-1 or something like that, and then the title's over. So that's what I'm predicting. I'm seeing right now maybe a penalty. Watkins goes down under Laporte or Zinchenko, and then Danny Ings steps up, scores it. And Man City are crying their eyes out, thinking we've lost the title. Can't believe it's, we've been top all this time, and then bang, De Bruyne masterclass. He'll show his quality, and Man City will find a way. There'll be a couple of goals that I think, if in a way, it's a shame that both Liverpool and Wolves are both playing mid-table teams. I tell you, the Premier League have to sort this out. I don't like the idea. How good would it be if they were playing a much better team? Yeah, or each other, or a better team in the last game of the season. Imagine that, how good that would be. But
getting playing each other. Let's assume Liverpool and City are probably going to be playing each other, being the two favourites for the title next season, which I think is a fair assumption. Let's get them organised to be playing last game of the season. Let's at least give it a chance of that last game. One team's got to beat the other, or the old Arsenal-Liverpool thing back in '89. It's that you want to see something like that again. That'd be great. I mean, it still could be an absolute epic. It could be another Aguero moment. Everyone thought City were playing against QPR in that game, and it was just a foregone conclusion back then. But I think it turned out not to be. But I think it'd be great to see them put them against it. I don't care about fixtures, stop being dodgy with the fixtures. Put the best two teams against each other last game of the season, and let's hope it comes that way. It might not, but if you do it, at least it gives it a chance.
Yeah, definitely, mate. So yeah, we've got that. So then we'll just quickly finish off with the nutmeg predictions. So who do you think is going to win who do you think is going to be the nutmeg champions of the Premier League?
Which team?
Who do you think is going to win it in the end?
Well, probably going to be Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. You think it's Crystal Palace? Okay. Well, I can categorically tell you that not only have Watford won the Nutmeg League, they've also beaten PSG's record of 62 nutmegs in a single season, and have now got 66 plus, because the last time I saw this was probably a couple of weeks ago. So 66 plus nutmegs in a season.
Nutmegs against? Is this nutmegs against?
No, nutmegs for. Nutmegs for. It really does show the kind of players that we've got in our team, where we can get an element of quality there, but they just can't finish their dinner, and they can't keep a clean sheet either. So the nutmeg champions is done and dusted. I know you guys are worried about that, and you think yourself, I can't believe it's finished. It is disappointing it's finished, but Watford have claimed that. There's no one in the top 5 major European competitions that can get close now. So Watford have won that. There would have to be a miracle of something like 20, 30 nutmegs in one game, which is not going to happen. And Watford would have to not actually get nutmeg themselves, which is still on the cards, given that they are champions of that nutmeg league. So a bit depressing to finish on that, something that's already set in stone, but Watford will be getting the nutmeg trophy this year. So it's not all Watford. It's not all this kind of bad news for them. So Watford fans have got something to cheer about. I don't see Luton Town winning that. I'll tell you that. So we'll finally get off with the predictions with a quick North versus South prediction. So we're basically which team from the North or the South will win.
First up, we've got Arsenal versus Everton. Who are you going with, Heath?
It's a South for me.
Yeah, home win as well. I'm thinking, definitely. Then we've got Brentford versus Leeds. I'm going with a draw. I think Leeds are going to get something out of that game.
I'm going to go South again. Brentford to win.
Win for Heath then. Then we've got Palace Man United.
I think I'll go for North on that one. United to get a win.
I'm going to go for a draw. Going for another draw there. Be nice score draw going on off there. Leicester Southampton. I'm going to go with a home win.
Yeah, I'll join you on that. So another Northern win.
And then we've got City versus Villa.
I think we've already kind of both agreed on that, right?
Yeah, I think we have. Yeah.
And I think we've all agreed on the last one as well.
Yeah, no, it's Spurs. I think that'll be an away win for us both. So, yeah, I think that goes without saying. So we've got a few which are different, though. The Brentford Leeds and the Palace United games are the ones where we've gone for sort of different results. So that's where the differential could be for that one. So see how it goes in the last game of the season. Yeah, I think you've won the majority of weeks when we've done this, but we've got a chance for a result this time round. See what happens. So yeah, good stuff. It just brings us on to now our game week preview for the final game week of the season. Game week 38. Everything to play for. Heath, all we need to know is it Son or is it Keane as your triple captain?
It is going to be Son at the moment. It will be Son. I think it makes sense to go with Son. He's although Keane has a kind of like something in him that at the end of the season, last game of the season, he does seem to bang quite a few. So he kind of does give me a little bit
against Hull a few years ago.
And I think didn't he score a few against Newcastle as well a while back now. But basically, it's going to be Son. So my only transfer I'm probably going to make is I'm looking at my goalkeepers, and they're playing. Martinez is playing Man City away, and Foster's playing Chelsea away. So that's the only transfer I can really see quite clearly right now, is potentially taking out Martinez and bringing in another keeper. Who I bring in, I don't know. I've got all my free Chelsea defenders, Azpilicueta, James, and Alonso. So I can't bring in Chelsea. Potentially. It's not a bad shout.
Brentford will give Leeds a spanking, so put your money where your mouth is and bring in a 4.3 million goalkeeper, pal.
Yeah, not a bad shout, mate. My midfield comprises of Zaha against Man United at home, Saka, Everton at home, Son, as I said, Norwich away with the triple captain, Bowen, Brentford away, Kulusevski, obviously Norwich. Hopefully he'll be fit for that one. Luca Tony / Ivan Tony, he'll be playing Leeds at home, and then Sir Harold of Keane will be playing Norwich. And then my bench has, at the moment, like I say, Foster, Ings, Dean, and Anderson. So Anderson will be my third sub, and that will be my team. I mean, it really, I don't think I need to overcomplicate it. There are a couple of, I tell you what, Danny Welbeck, you seen his form recently? He's been pretty good. I could potentially maybe bring him in. I don't know, just for sentimental reasons. No, I'm not going to. It's not about sentiment. It's about getting results. It's about winning, and I want to win this. So yeah, that's my team at the moment. And like I say, the only transfer I probably will make is a goalkeeper coming in. I suppose I could potentially bring in Ramsdale for Arsenal, or maybe that could be a good shout. I think. There's no one else really that stands out. That I could, like you say, Ray at Brentford's not a bad shot. I do see Leeds scoring though. Although what I said earlier, I do see Leeds getting a goal because they do have some fight in them. But I'm not sure how much fight they do. So how about yourself, mate? What are we looking at?
Well, yeah, it's tricky. Obviously, I've got a free transfer. I suppose I've got to be sort of waiting to see what the numbers are looking like. Virgil van Dijk, is he going to play this game week? Because he's in my side. He's the only one who's on a yellow sort of mark. He's got 75% chance of winning. Is he going to play? I hope so, because I do think Liverpool keep a clean sheet, and I've got him and Matip then hopefully to do that for me. So Van Dijk is definitely, the one where I'm probably looking at a transfer. I ain't got any chips to play, so it's straight out 11. So at the moment I've got Ederson, Cancelo, Van Dijk, and Matip. Cross midfield, Damari Gray, Mane, De Bruyne, Maddison, Anthony Gordon, Vardy, and Pukki as my strikers. Probably I've got Collins on the bench. If Van Dijk's fit, obviously I'll leave him be, and then I've got 1.8 million in the bank, you see, so I'll be getting rid of an Everton player probably, and then looking what I can do with that. I've already got 3 City and Liverpool players in there. I suppose if Van Dijk's unfit, I could take him out. I could then bring in maybe Jota. I fancy maybe Jota to start. I think Jota, Mane, and Diaz will probably start in the last game for Liverpool. So that's an option. Or I could go big if I wanted. I could bring Van Dijk out and just bring in Trent, because I've got the money in the bank if I wanted to. So yeah, there's options. I'm a bit torn at the moment. I think it's going to rely on that Van Dijk thing, to be honest with you. I think, I could go outraged. I could get, if Vardy plays against Chelsea, will he start against Southampton? I think he probably will. But if he gets injured in that time, then I could always get him out, and I could always bring him CR7 for the last game of the season if I wanted to. I've got, like I said, I've got options. It's going to depend on what happens, but I think there isn't going to be any drastic changes. I'm not thinking of making like 2 changes here. I'm just going to make a straight free transfer trade, and that'll probably be it, I guess. captain could be Vardy or Mane or De Bruyne. It'd be between them three.
Yeah, it's a good team, mate. Honestly, player for player, your team is miles ahead of mine. But it's all about the points, and that's where it's very different. You don't win this game on paper. Our plan was we wanted to do a live podcast for the last game of the season, but because of my stag do, the fact is that we'll be in no state at all to do anything on Sunday, let alone a live podcast. So I think you have to forgive us on that. Maybe that'll be for next season. Maybe we'll attempt that. And I think realistically, what we're going to have to do is just look at the idea of trying to keep you updated on Twitter or something like that.
Yeah, try and do some live feeds.
Something like that. We'll see. It's just, it really does depend.
Post as teams. We will post our teams and on before kickoff at 2:30 on the Sunday. So we will put them out there once the deadline comes in. It's deadline 2:30 for the game week. And the games kick off at 4. That's it, isn't it? Games kick off at 4. So yeah, we'll get some out there on the Twitter pages and whatnot, and then we'll put some in-game updates on there hopefully. Yeah,
and if you want to catch us on Twitter, the Twitter handle for North versus South is @FPLNVS. States is @FPL_Northerner, and mine is @FPL Southerner. One other exclusive. I mean, these things come in threes, right? So another exclusive is coming up. We might have hinted at it before, but we're going to do a collaboration with the Big at the Back podcast next week, and we'll be basically doing a review of the season, kind of getting that out there and giving you our what we think of how the FPL season's gone, and the guys from the Big at the Back will be obviously providing their opinion. I think we'll see how that goes, in the sense of, like, we're very, very excited to do a collab with anyone really, but these guys are top guys. We've obviously reviewed their podcast earlier in the season, really liked it, and kind of they've been very complimentary of ours too. So we've got a bit of a podcast friend. So it's nice to have, So this is like something we've been looking forward to. It's something we've not done before, so but we'll see how it goes. But very much looking forward to it. We'll also release obviously our own podcast after that, probably after that. Given again that we won't really have an opportunity. We're recording with Big in the Back on Monday, and we won't probably have an opportunity to record on Sunday. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, all I'm going to say to you guys is a lot riding on this game week 38. Everyone looks forward to this last game week. It's always a bit crazy. There's plenty of goals, plenty of talking points. It all happens so quickly. And all I say to you is enjoy it. If you're playing in head-to-heads, you're up against rivals, guys, trying to get in their heads, try and kind of manipulate their minds to make them think that player that they're thinking about captain is going to be useless on the last game. Make up stuff, just get in their heads. It's where you win. It's where you win FPL. You win it just without kicking the ball sometimes. So, try to do everything. Also, if you're second in your leagues, take risks. What have you got to lose? There's nothing happening after this game week. Don't sit back and think, I'd rather finish second than third. Take a risk. Go there. Do something bold. You get recognized for being bold than you do for playing it safe. That's for sure. So I'll say this final thing, guys. The season's been incredible. Really loved it. Every single podcast, every single game week comes down to this last one. State and I, it's all on the line, mate. I have to say to you, good luck to you, and genuinely good luck to you, mate. It's been a pleasure this season, and I really, really hope that we both have a good game week. We finished on a high, and honestly, mate, it couldn't have gone any better in my mind. Let's see how it goes. Good luck.
I don't wish you any such luck. But I've enjoyed the season, but I do not wish you luck at all. I need this title. I want this title.
Mate, you need that luck.
So I'm not wishing you any such luck. I wish you luck at surviving your stag do on Saturday, which I will make a point of hurting you so badly that I might be able to sneak your phone off you, make a load of changes, and you won't wake up until 20 to 4 on the Sunday, and then you'll be like, oh, it's too late. Who's my captain? Oh no, I've triple captain someone stupid like Anderson at Palace. What's going on? That'd be the best. But yeah, we'll see.
Awesome. Awesome, mate. Awesome.
Been a pleasure. Been a pleasure. And hopefully, like Heath said, everyone enjoy the final game week. And yeah, if you're in those leagues and fighting for something, yeah, now's the time to make a move.
Okay, guys. Well, good luck. That's all from us, and we will see you next week.